Hello there, my thought for Saturday today, here in the Philippines. A number of you subscribers have mentioned the fact that a lot of people who come from America, oh, that name again, are actually Americans who would otherwise be homeless back in the States. I did a little bit of a survey to find out, first of all, whether in fact that would be the case to my point of view. And that is that if you are homeless, are you entitled to SSI? And the answer quite clearly is yes. And it is not always necessary that you reside in a shelter. So of course armed with that information, I can actually clearly see now why the suggestion is that many Americans who come here to live or seek a new life here in the Philippines, described by their own kind as losers, on living on the street, homeless, I think is a bit harsh, because if they're getting a full SSI payment, as most of you will know, that it should be sufficient to support you here in the Philippines. And if you have a choice between living on the street with not much hope except drug dependency, homelessness as well, and many of the myriad of psychological issues that might affect you by doing so, the Philippines may well offer you that opportunity to get yourself back to the way life should have been if you hadn't found yourself on the street. Now, it's more a concept than a reality necessarily, because maybe it's a sarcastic remark made by one fellow American against others who he thought were maybe a little bit beneath his own level of intelligence. And I think it's maybe being cruel to suggest that, but even if it is, one has to ask yourself how, if you're homeless, maybe you have a telephone, maybe you're one of those people that sits in a cardboard box in your little world, and you have a phone, and you have internet connection, and you're able to seek a partner in the Philippines. All of these things are possible, but whether or not they actually happen. But I would take my hat off to anybody who's come from a situation of homelessness. Is because isn't that the same as a person who's in the West who's scared of ending up in one of those institutions they so happily called aged care centres or retirement homes, which really means God's waiting room. Because if you have the gumption, the drive, and initiative, no matter where you come from, even if it is America, and you only have to look at what's happening in America currently over the last few years, to realize that if they are doing that, and they are deciding to come and find a partner here in the Philippines, and to pick up maybe a little bit of hope in their life, I would take my hat off to them, because that is an opportunity to turn their lives around. And as we all know, when we come here, to a degree we are an unknown quantity to the locals. We're all seen as millionaires, so even if you don't tell them that you used to live on the street or that you were very, very poor, the chances of making a good life are no different from those that have come here and done the same planning from maybe a better financial base. But I would like to suggest, though, that it is quite common to find many expats here in the Philippines who come from the lower end of the market, so to speak, and they're doing what they feel is the right way to live out their retirement and their old age, at least surrounded by some that care about them, and uh, a nice lot of eye candy as they grow older. So, if you like my thought for the day and it resonates with you in some way, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, and don't forget to press that notification button, which I still haven't put on the top there. And I hope you have a nice weekend. Bye now.